Welcome to Toffee TV. It's your comments for the FA Cup third round defeat by Leicester City at Goodison Park, 2-1. As you can see, your comments, and we can just go to your comments. Oh my God, look at this. Big thanks to Joe. Joe does designs, he's done all this, and also he picked the comments as well, so don't be giving me or Baz any abuse. Joe picked the comments, so if you want to get your comments, you're going to have to make sure, you know, they're Joe friendly. He's doing them. The first one is from Tank C, who says, fair play, Ped, you said it straight, that's Everton's problem, we are too nice. Who the fuck sits down and gives Barry and Gibson new contracts when they're finished? Players out should be Murray, Gibson, McGibbon, Cleverley, Coney, Nias, Lennon, Oviedo, Jagielka and Barry are finished. We could let on either one of the keepers to do not fuss. God, I hate it when people write in like bleeding. Yeah, just by a good keeper. Did I miss anyone? Tank, I don't think you did miss anyone. I think that just shows you the problems Everton have got. All those players could be cleared out and we wouldn't really miss any of them, would we really? Because none of them do anything. Murray's playing, I suppose, and Lennon could probably play, but apart from that, Barry could still be part of the squad, but the other players could easily be cleared out, be no issues whatsoever. We need to get rid of them and replaced. Obviously not going to take one window, but definitely that's something that we need to do. Moving on, Tom ESC10 says we've got a shit squad and January should be a big signing month for us. 5 signings at least, 8 days in and we've made 1 signing. A 19-year-old who won't get a look in. Kenwright and Walsh have been a disgrace so far. We know who we want, but they are too useless to get them. Well, I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? We don't know definitely defined roles. Is it Walsh's job to negotiate? You know, what is it Koeman asks for players, Walsh finds the players, and the board negotiate? It's hard to say. Lukaku has come in. I think Lukaku will be involved probably from Sunday onwards. He'll be on the bench, he'll be in and around the squad. Walsh has come under some criticism from local journalists. I don't know if that's who Koeman was referencing when he said that. I don't know exactly if he was making a point about Walsh, but he was angry and he wants his players in ASAP. I think that falls more on the board, because at the end of the day, they're the ones who sign the cheques. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Carl H says, said from the heart, nothing new to add. Typical Everton, absolutely no consistency, not enough winners on the pitch, no creativity, no hope. Now come on, Carl, of course there's hope. There's always hope. You go and beat Man City and it's a completely different picture. I think what was illustrated on Saturday's performance is that we need new players, and Koeman afterwards just put the cherry on top by basically saying, I've asked for new players and they're not here. So he's sent alarm bells ringing. Alarm bells that I feel should have been ringing a long time ago, not just now. So I think from that point of view, the manager stepped up and said, you know, I was promised things, they haven't been delivered, and I want it sorted. And I think that's good. I think that's good. If he's been saying that behind closed doors and it's not been happening, then, you know, he's got to say it in public. So I'm with Koeman on this one. Chuff says, we desperately need a captain, no clear leader to grill the players on the pitch. Jags was a shy captain for the team. He was just good at the PR side of it. None of our senior players are leaders. Coleman maybe, but he's not respected enough without being first choice named captain. I don't know if Coleman's respected enough. Seems to do a great job for the Republic of Ireland. But for me, a good point to this is, when we went 1-0 up in this game, the senior players, Gareth Barry, Ashley Williams, Leighton Baines, you know, Coleman, they should have been saying to all the younger players, keep this shape, keep this lead for 10 minutes, get through the next 5 to 10 minute spell, don't go and do anything mad, and we'll see out this game. We'll nick another one, we'll see out this game. That's for me what they should have been saying. But no, they just went gung-go, left themselves wide open and let Leicester get back into the game and obviously go on and win the game. That for me was a big problem, and you're right, that comes from the leaders. You know, if you've got senior players on the pitch, look at Leicester from last season, the likes of Hoof and Morgan, you know, those players really steered them into winning the Premier League. So I know people say, oh, having a captain and all that doesn't really matter, but it does make a massive difference if you've got loads of leaders on the pitch. Jen May says, yes, disappointed with the board. What the fuck are they doing? Get the transfers sorted and quick. I don't care if they pay over the odds. It's not money that we ever will see the fruits of otherwise, so get it them done. The squad needs it, and yes, time in football is the essence. Spot on, by the way, Baz. Interesting this, because I think, like you've seen from some of the other comments so far, is that a lot of the talk is about what Koeman said rather than about the display on the pitch. And I think that, if you think about it from almost like a Mourinho point of view, he's took the spotlight off the team, some of his substitutions as well, and put it firmly on the board, maybe Steve Walsh. So if you look at it from that point of view, was he just trying to get the blame off himself? But again, you're right. For me, we should have had 3 in the first week, and I know people go, oh, that's an over-the-top reaction, but we've known as fans for the last 3 months what we needed, and those negotiations should have been happening behind the scenes, like the Lookman deal. The Lookman deal was done brilliantly. It was done over the last few months, behind the scenes, get them in for the first week, spot on. That's what you want. Why couldn't that have been done for other players? Morgan Snyder hasn't been doing anything at Man United. Why wasn't that signed and sealed so he could have been in for this game? That's where, for me, our club still falls behind. No matter what else happens, no matter about, you know, signing deals, sponsorship deals. This is where in the future this will really prove if we're one of the big boys how we get deals done. Mark Pendleton says, do you think we should just ditch the deadwood now and play the best under 23 players until we get new signings in? No, because I think it needs to be 1 in, 1 out, basically. Because although some of the under 23s are doing well, the best ones are already in and around the squad. Tom Davies, Holgate, Calvin Lewin, who's going to be out for a couple of months. So apart from a couple of other players, you can't take that entire squad. Don't forget, we're still going for 7th. 7th could still get you the Europa League if, you know, a top 6 team wins the League Cup and the FA Cup. Now we've got Liverpool and Man United, and we don't want Liverpool winning, but you know, got Man United in there for the, and so 7th is probably what we could go, and we want to get that. Okay, it's not great, but it's what we want to get. So we can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. We've got to go. Well, if we bring Snardling, then we let Cleverly go. If we get one, you know, so 1 in, 1 out has to be the policy for me as we go forward. I'd like to see a couple more of the under 23s on the bench, just to see how they fare, maybe for 5-10 minutes of games. But we've asked for a lot already, and we have received with the likes of Tom Davies. So let's hope that keeps going if the players are good enough. Antonio Fernandez Viana, what a tremendous name that is, and I'm just glad I said it right. So we need new players now. How is our 18-year-old youngster, our best player on the pitch, which is what the manager said? Sneijder needs to come in. We can't have Barry. The man's time is over. Send him back to Villa, for fuck's sake. The power will be amazing for us. Not sure about that, because we need a winger that can take people on with confidence, kind of like a Dutch Sterling. Koeman needs to do business ASAP. Now, listen, Koeman's trying to do business. We know that. I know I'm sort of repeating myself, but yeah, you're right. I'd still keep Barry. I think that there's a place and a time for Barry. It's not every game, but there's a place and time for Barry. So I would leave him at the club. The Depay, I wouldn't pay over 15 million for the Depay. So if we can get him, I think it's a waiting game with him. It's brinkmanship. If no one wants him on deadline day, I think we might get him, but we're not going to pay over the odds for him. I'm prepared to match the price that Man United want for Sneijder, but not really for the Depay, because I don't think the Depay has proved it in this country where Sneijder has. So we'll wait and see on that one. Mr. Gazbo9 says, Davies for the second goal is awful. Let's Musa cut inside too early, then doesn't track him for the return ball. I think you're being a little bit harsh there, like literally pinpointing probably our man of the match alongside Baines for one thing he did wrong in the entire game. He's an 18-year-old lad. He is going to make mistakes. You know, he is going to sort of switch off at times. Go back for that goal and have a look at what Ross Barkley's doing. Have a look at what Barry's doing. Have a look at what Funes Mori's doing. Have a look at what Williams is doing. There's mistakes all over the pitch. To single out an 18-year-old lad. Listen, I'll call the lad out if I think he's doing, you know, he was sloppy on Saturday, but he's still 18. That was his second start of the season. and he was probably our best midfielder. You know, come on. Not many left yet. It's like surprised now to see which one's the last one. Lee Kelly says, as a neutral, it's so obvious that Lukaku doesn't want to be at Everton. Same with Payet at West Ham. Lee, don't think that's necessarily true. I think he still does what he needs to do. He's probably just not happy that the way the team gets played. You know, it's an interesting point. But I think Payet doesn't want to be at West Ham, by the way. But I'm not sure about Lukaku. It looks like he might be signing a new contract. But if you're a centre forward and you want to play with a partner, and every week the manager's like leaving you. I mean, for most of that game, he did have a partner, and then for the time we needed him to have a partner, he didn't have a partner. That's the biggest gripe. Lukaku needs a partner, and yet most of the time he doesn't have one. I think that's his biggest issue, and that needs to be addressed. Basically, we need a good second striker to play alongside them. Everton Scoop says, if we signed a right back who was any decent at defending instead of Coleman, the difference would be unreal. Coleman can't defend. Coleman has never been able to defend, and he never will. He's a weak link in our defence. We need a new goalkeeper, a new right back, a new centre back to play next to Ashley. Then we will see the best out of him, and of course we will see a lot more stability at the back. Coleman is a great attacking right back, and when we are at our best, he doesn't have to defend. The same used to be said about Baines, but Baines has actually learned how to defend. But Coleman, you're right, hasn't necessarily learned. He always gets caught on the blind side. He never can see a person behind them, and it's happened all through his Everton career. If Coleman's left to attack as a right back, I think the West Ham game, I think the Arsenal game, I think against Southampton, we are at our best when our fullbacks play higher up, and we have a proper centre midfielder who drops in and almost plays like a third centre defender. That's when we're at our best. Or even when we play three at the back, Coleman can't defend. He just gets caught out far too often. But I don't think he could never defend. So it's down to Everton to play in a system that gets the best out of him. And if we don't play like that, then maybe he shouldn't play in that system. So it's a good point. And that's it. That was the last one. As you can see, we've got our new thing now, so you can see your comments. So give us your best comments. Joe will pick your best comments, so you've got to be nice to him. Maybe go online, find them on Joe Does Designs, ask him for a nice header or something. Be nice to him, butter them up, and you'll get your comment read. We do the comments after every game now, taken from my instant reaction, Baz's instant reaction, and the ratings as well. So thanks for watching, thanks for commenting. We'll see you later on Toffee TV.